Welcome, beautiful people. It's your girl Shan back in the kitchen. So today I'll be showing you guys how I make my oxtail. So stick around. Okay, welcome people. So today I'm going to show you guys how I cook my oxtail. I've already washed my oxtail with some lemon and some vinegar. So I'm going to show you guys how I season it up. I'm doing this the night before. So I'm going to show you guys what I put on my oxtail and how I season it. So to start off, I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Oh, if it will come out really. So, I've got some oxtail seasoning. So one teaspoon of that. I got a bit of all-purpose seasoning. Put 1 teaspoon of that. I've got some blended pimento. So I'm gonna put just about 1 teaspoon of the blended pimento. And I've also got some, so this is my blended seasoning that I blended up with onion, garlic, ginger, pimento, all of that. So my blended fresh seasoning, I'm gonna put that's 3 teaspoons. I'm gonna put about 4 teaspoons. So put a bit more. If it needs more, I'll put some more on there. There's no exact measurement. I'm gonna put some garlic sauce, some onion, sorry, this is the onion one. Some onion, not a lot because I've already put some on there. I got some paprika, put some paprika on it. So let's stop measuring. Bad habit. And I'm gonna put some salt on there as well. So just a teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna put some dry herbs. Put some dry herbs on there. And my secret that I put on my oxtail when I'm doing it is I put a bit of tomato ketchup. Not everybody do this, but I do. When I'm seasoning it up, and then I'm gonna rub all of that seasoning in. And if I think I need any more seasoning, I'll put some more in there. I don't put browning on my oxtail when I'm seasoning it up. Some people do, but I usually just let my oxtail brown itself, or do it with some sugar. To make the browning, but at this stage you can put a bit of browning on there, but because I'm seasoning this overnight, seasoning up for overnight, I'm just going to do it for now, and then if I do need to put any browning, I'll do that when I'm cooking it. So this is how I season it up. Don't think it needs any more seasoning on there, and I'm just gonna it smells so good. I can smell that garlic that's blended in the fresh blend that I did. So this is going to, that's all I put on my oxtail. So this is going to go in the fridge overnight, and then we're going to have that ready for tomorrow when we're cooking it. So yeah, that's how I season up my oxtail, and then I'll show you guys how I cook it down and how I cook it on the next one. So I'm going to let this marinate overnight, and then we're going to cook our oxtail, and I'll show you guys how I do the rest of that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, so my oxtail has been chilling in the fridge overnight, so we're going to show you. So I've wrapped it up with some cling film, and this is my oxtail overnight. So I've been chilling it overnight. It's been marinating, well seasoned, and now we are going to cook it. So I'm going to show you how I cook my oxtail, and I will see you in a bit. Okay, so in my pot I'm just going to add some oil, just a bit, not a lot. About that much oil. It's about a tablespoon of oil. I'm going to let that warm up. Well, while that's warming up, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of brown sugar. Let's add a bit more. And I'm going to let that melt. This is how I'm making my browning. Of course, everybody else can use your browning, your regular browning. So you can use your regular browning. I'm going to let that heat up and melt. And then once that's melted, we can add our oxtail. By the way, guys, I am using a pressure cooker because I don't have time to wait 2 hours for the oxtail to be cooked, but you can do that about an hour and a half, 2 hours max. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my oxtail down in the pressure cooker for about 30 minutes. Then I will cook it down, finish cooking it down for another 30 to 40 minutes in a regular pot. So this is optional, but because I wanted to do it a bit quicker and I don't want to take 2 hours to cook it, I'm using a pressure cooker. But you don't have to use a pressure cooker. You can always use a regular pat and cook it down slowly for 2 hours or so. But just to save time, I'm using a pressure cooker. So I'm just going to let that melt, then I'll come back to you guys and show you what's the next step to cooking our oxtail. Okay, so sugar is melting. So sugar is now melting, or now melted. So now I'm going to add the oxtail to it, and I'm just going to sear it off, get the oxtail to be brown. So I'm just going to add our oxtail. So we're going to leave that for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to try and turn over all the other piece that's already been browned, and then brown the one that's on top. So I'm going to leave that uncovered for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then I'll show you guys what the next step is. Okay, so I'm gonna just flip the oxtail so the other side can get brown. I'm going to let that brown on the other side for another 5 minutes before I add any water to it. So yeah, I'm going to let that cook down for another 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. And you see, I'm just stirring it. Stirring it, and now I'm gonna do is add water. So in this bowl, this is what I had my oxtail in. I'm gonna put about 5 cups of water. This is about 5 cups. I might add a bit more just to cover the meat. And then I am going to pressure this oxtail. At this stage you can just leave your oxtail on the hob, cover it and let it cook for an hour on a high heat. But because I'm use it in the pressure cooker, I'm just going to cook it for about 30 minutes in the pressure cooker, and then I will come back and show you guys how I finish off my oxtail. So I'm just going to put the lid on and I'm going to let that pressure for about 30 minutes. So I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Okay guys, so this is the oxtail 30 minutes in after pressuring it. It's nice and tender. As you can see, it's practically coming off the bowl now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let it simmer down. I'm going to add a bit more seasoning to it, and then I'm going to let it simmer down, make a nice thick gravy. At this stage you can also, if you were cooking yours in a normal pot and not in the pressure cooker, you can gradually add water to it if it's not cooked as yet. But this is nice and tender, so what I'm going to do now is just to add a bit of seasoning to it, and then I'm going to let it simmer down and make a thick gravy. Okay, so I'm just going to add some chopped onions and a Scotch bonnet pepper in there. Then I'm going to add some of my blended seasoning. So this seasoning's got all my garlic, my pepper, thyme, scallion, all the good stuff. I'm gonna just mix that up. Try not let your pepper burst, you don't want it to become too spicy. So I'm going to add a bit more water to that. Add a bit of water. And I'm gonna put a little seasoning on there as well, some taste, see if it needs salt, and I tasted it, it needs a bit of salt. So I'm gonna add some salt to it. Add a bit of salt. Add some all-purpose seasoning. I'm going to stir that up. Stir it up. Let that simmer for a bit. I'm going to add some ketchup. We are trying to make the gravy. Add some ketchup. To that I'm going to have some, just to give it a bit of a extra flavour, I'm adding some jerk barbecue sauce to that as well. To that I'm going to add some Worcester sauce. Some dark soya sauce. Everybody make the oxtail different. They add different stuff to it. I'm adding a Maggi cube. So of course you don't have to make it like this. Everybody make it different. This is how I make my oxtail. Everybody have their own way of making it. I'm going to let that simmer down. Gravy thickens. I'm going to taste the gravy. So I'll just put it on my hand. Yeah, nice and good. Don't need any more salt or anything like that. Good flavour. So I'm going to let that gravy thicken to that delicious gravy that we usually have with our oxtail. Okay, so I've got some butter beans here that I've rinsed off. I've drained the water that it came in, and then I've just rinsed it off with some fresh cold water. I'm going to add it to the pot. I'm just going to stir that. That doesn't take any time. Really and truly, my oxtail is nice and cooked. We're just making the gravy, thickening up the gravy. And then that should be it. And I'll come back and show you guys how it all turned out when it's all shared up and everything like that. Finish. It looks amazing and it tastes even better. So I'm having my oxtail with a bit of some plantains, some pasta salad, and some gunga rice and peas. A video of how I do my gunga rice and peas will be out soon, so please look out for that. But this is how I make my oxtail. Of course, everybody make their oxtail totally different, but if you like to make it how I do, please do try it out. Let me know how it tastes. Let me know how you lot do it. What's your secret, if you want to tell me, on how you do your oxtail. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video, and I will definitely see you guys on the next one, and see you guys next time. All right, bye.